Hi, welcome to the Verify Pipeline Execution 1510 Kickoff. My name is Jheimbuck, the product manager for the Pipeline Execution Group here at GitLab. As a reminder, this group is responsible for GitLab CI, pipelines, pipeline processing, pipeline schedules, and the category of merge trains. I'm joined by the Pipeline Execution Product Designer, Vitika. You'll find a link to the 1510 kickoff page with links to the items we're discussing today and the Verify Stage Direction page with discussion of our future work in the comments below the video. You can always reach me at jheimbuck@gitlab.com or by tagging me in a comment on any of the issues we're going to talk about today or anything with a group pipeline execution label in the GitLab projects. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to talk about our theme for the 1510 milestone is make it obvious if an MR can be merged. And so I am sharing the first issue that I want to talk about today. And there are two issues that fit into that broader theme about making MR state more obvious. The first is this one with replacing merge strategy labels with auto merge and changing that help text. This just makes it a little more obvious and easier to understand for a user who's about to click on that button. What's the state of the merge request today and what's going to happen after they click that button so that the MR gets merged. The second is one that we've talked about before on some of the kickoffs that the team has not gotten to, but it fits nicely into our theme. And that's making it easier to understand and differentiate those merge request pipelines. We've done some work already to date, but we're introducing some new labels instead of detached as the label for a branch pipeline that just make it a little bit easier to understand what is this pipeline that just ran, what kind of pipeline is it, what did it run against as far as the code in the branch. So it's easier to understand for users to see where they're at in their MR. And then moving on, with the start of this 1510 milestone, we're starting to turn our attention to the larger investment themes for the new fiscal year. And we have two features in the milestone that really contribute towards two of those investment themes. The first is observability, analytics, and feedback. And that is an issue that's showing a little bit more data about how much time the pipeline took. It's really easy to see today the total pipeline duration time, or I often call that wall clock time, between when the pipeline started and when it ended. And it's easy to see an individual job, how long maybe it took. But what's not so simple is to figure out how long it took for all of the jobs to run and thinking about your compute or your CI compute credits or your CI/CD minutes, how many of those were consumed by that pipeline. So this issue brings the detail of the total pipeline time, the compute credits consumed, and the time spent queued to the pipeline detail page for easier access without having to add up a bunch of jobs through the jobs page. Even filtering there makes that really not the easiest thing to do, especially if you have potentially hundreds of jobs that run in a pipeline. Now it's all nice and easy in one spot for you. So you can see how many minutes were consumed by the job within the pipeline. The next issue I want to talk about is adding audit logging for the secure CI job token setting. This fits nicely into the theme around advanced security and compliance. So we're introducing right now in the current milestone, this new inbound setting for the CI job token, so that as a project maintainer, you can specify which projects can use the CI job token to do things like access the package registry or trigger a pipeline in your project. As part of our broader theme in compliance, we're going to add an audit event when this setting is changed. So when the setting is turned off for now, while it's not a default setting, and more importantly, when projects are added, so that customers who need that level of compliance or audit can see within their audit logs who added this project, what was the project that was added, when was it added or removed, to try to understand if they need to within those audit events, what's accessing their project. And so now I'll hand it over to Vitika to discuss some of the upcoming usability improvements that the team is exploring for later milestones this year.
Thanks, James. And I'm not gonna lie, when I looked at the auto merge and the pipeline type labeling work that they'll be shipped in this milestone. It brought a smile to my face. I've really been waiting for that. It's nice
Yes.
that our team now has the time. So one of the issues that we'll be working in this milestone, we'll be working on the proposal for in this milestone, is this display one date selector for usage quota graphs. On the usage quota graphs, we show a bunch of graphs today. I mean, on the usage quota page, we show many graphs today, and that's primarily to give users an insight into their CI/CD minutes consumption and how their runner usage has been like. But at the same time, as you can see, there are a lot many date selectors, and I mean, from observing the usage so far, we've also realized that when users are searching for some information, it is usually in the same context, right? Like they are trying to look at the data from the same time frame. So why don't we give them an option to only select the date once and see all the related information to that date all in one go? That's what we'll be trying to do through this issue. And secondly is another one that says add additional permission to allow retrying of jobs on protected tags. Now, there's a bug that has been identified that when users expect to be able to retry a job on a protected branch that they have permission to access, but somehow in certain circumstances they're not able to do that. This particular issue calls for a permission check, and based on what we find out, we'll be like providing a proposal of X to that. Yeah, these are the two ones that I'm sure that we are going to look at, and anything else that we look at, we'll talk about that in the next kickoff. Back to you, James.
Really excited for the new date selector on that page and also fixing the bug that's there around selecting and showing the right dates. We show the right dates rather, but having the selector match up so that you can more easily navigate to the months that you care about, looking at that shared runner duration and CI/CD minute consumption. That's exciting. We're very excited for our 1510 milestone. If any of these issues are interesting to you, feel free to give us a tag in the issues. Thanks so much.